So let's just start off with your first and last name, how to spell it.
Sergeant Spencer Cannon, SPENCER, Utah County Sheriff's Office.
All right, so just give us everything that you can share with us, everything you know.
Okay, yeah, we got a call a little after 11, 911 call from 4 people who were up near Pfeiffer Horn Peak, which is a peak that is right about on the line of Salt Lake County and Utah County. They're down on the south side, which is in Utah County. They had gotten caught up in an avalanche. None of them were buried by it, but 2 of them did sustain relatively serious injuries. One, we believe, a possible broken ankle, and the other, a possible broken leg. And they're not in a position where they can get themselves out, obviously, with the 2 that are injured. Salt Lake County Sheriff's Office did send a couple of people in by snowmobile, but the Utah Avalanche Center has said that the conditions in the area they'd have to cross through to get to these folks is too severe, with risk of other avalanches, so they have been canceled. We do have the Utah Department of Public Safety helicopter here, as well as a helicopter with life flight, and we're trying to work out a plan how we can get people to them, maybe hoist them out or land and take them to the helicopter. Working on that right now. They have dropped a couple of care packages to the group. That'll contain things, protein bars and granola bars and things like that, water or Gatorade, maybe a little bit of food and some blankets. But otherwise they're doing okay except for the injuries. The real difficult thing right now, one of the difficult things I should say, is that the pilots are telling us that the wind conditions are causing some difficulty up there as well. So we're in the process of trying to work on a plan that can help get these people out in the quickest way possible and get the medical attention that they need.
Also, how long do you suspect you'll be out here?
We're probably going to be at least a couple of more hours, and that it could, depending on how we end up having to bring them out, it could go well into the evening tonight. A worst case scenario, it could be into tomorrow before we're able to do it. I mean, just in good weather, like during the summertime or something, if you hike from where we are to where they are right now, you're looking at 6 to 8 hours at least, and that's in good weather conditions over the same terrain. But with a lot of snow-covered terrain to cover, that really slows down how you're able to do that, but it also creates that risk that we have to pay attention to, because the last thing we want to do is create a bigger problem by putting people in territory where there might be a slide, and if a slide does come down, then we have 2 search and rescue operations that have to take place.
I know you don't have a lot of time left. One last question. For those who'll be watching this interview later on today, and how can this could have been prevented?
In some situations, in some areas like this, the only way to prevent something like this is to just not go. And that is something that people have to consider. We assume that these folks, because of where they are, have experience in the outdoors and that they check the conditions and everything. And one of the things that the Avalanche Center recommendations don't say is they just tell you what the risk is and to consider not going on slopes greater than 31 degrees. They also say you should consider not going on areas where the slope is less than 31 degrees, but it has slopes above that are over 31 degrees. And one of the things that people should always consider is whether or not they should even go. I get that there's a real sense of fulfillment in going to areas like this, the solitude when you're there, the effort it takes to get there, the beauty that you see when you're there. But when you end up having something like this happen, all the regret and all the hindsight in the world doesn't make it so that it changes the immediate situation, which is that we have 2 people who are relatively seriously injured, and it's going to take a lot of effort to get them out of there. So really, when you're making plans to go into areas where these kinds of conditions exist, you have to ask yourself the question, should I even go?
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
All righty. Thank you.